great about that, other than trying to help people who are in a state of disease. Welcome back to the Immigration Answers Show. My name is Jim Hacking. I'm an immigration attorney practicing law throughout the United States, out of our offices in St. Louis, San Diego, and Washington, D.C. How's everybody doing? How was your weekend? Did you do something fun? Let us know today if you did something fun this weekend. My good friend Julie's here on the pipes. She'll make sure that she takes good care of you, that we get you whatever information we can. She'll monitor who's in the waiting room. She'll give you the links, all that good stuff. I hope she had a good weekend. Julie, did you have a good weekend? Yep, she did. I did too. It was pretty chill. We were just at home and hanging out with the kids. And Monty's down in Memphis today, right now, in an interview. So hopefully that goes well. It's a 7:51 solo. So hopefully that goes well. Let's see who's here. Who's got something to say? Cleon gives the big up from Trinidad. All right. I don't know if we've ever gotten a big up from Trinidad before. Tyrone is here. Traylene says hello from Ohio. Marla is here. Creaky Bones, hello. Jay Cruz checking in from North Dakota. We got Paragould, Arkansas. I've been to Paragould, Arkansas. Hello, Gabriella. Not a ton in Paragould, but I don't know if you'll be there forever, Gabriella. Who knows? Raphael's in Tampa. Saring's in New Jersey. Hina's here. Hi, Hina. How you doing? Thanks for your help. Chetty's here. Nurse Laura. Anyone else seen the Project 2025 training videos? No, I have not. I need to watch those. Michael Samuel's here. Up, Yard Man Ting. That's what I'm talking about. Rich is giving all the big ups too. Got Julian here from London. Kofi's in Atlanta. Christine is here. We got Qatar. Hello, MDDS. And we get some hellos, including from Atlanta and from Ms. Carolyn. Julian says it's 32 Celsius. I don't know how to translate most Celsius into Fahrenheit, but I know 32, 33 is right around 100. So no AC. That's pretty hot. We got a DV winner. All right. So is that everybody? Let's see. Bassett's here. Ahmed's here. AJ. Hello, AJ. We got Agadarag from New York. We got Italy in the house. Ciao, Vinod. Marvelous is here. AJ's back in the U.S. Good to hear. We got Ms. S in Eswatini in Africa. All right. Oh, thank you, Huli. She does do everything, including translate Fahrenheit for me. I'm pretty darn close. It's hot. It's still plenty hot. Alfred's here and Enrique's here. All right. Sandbox, hello. Let's go to Cameron. Hello, Cameron.
Hey, Mr. Hacking, how's everything going?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
Good. So we had our interview today at the consulate in Germany.
Yeah, how'd it go?
So everything was good. You were right. It took 5 to 10 minutes. The only thing was, since I'm in the military, I contacted the German police department for the police certificate. And initially they told me that I had to get it from the military police. So I did that. And when I was showing the immigration officer my documents, she said that everything else that we gave them was fine, but they still wanted the German police certificate. So she gave us a 221 G.
Yep.
But the key word that I took away from it was when we were leaving from the window, she was like, congrats. She said everything else was good. She sent us an email and said just send that to her. And they kept the passports too.
So that's all good.
So I'm assuming like I just send them what they asked for and we should be squared away.
It sounds like it.
But yeah, and I also wanted to say thank you guys for your help. Actually the night before, so yesterday night, I guess like you guys send like random updates or emails that people should keep their mind going with. And the email I got was, does the immigration officer know my case before I interview with them? And I think the guidance in the email was basically saying, although you would assume that they would, it's still best to, um, have more than what they asked for, because we brought this whole thing and they only asked for like just the basic stuff. Like really everything that we brought with us extra, they didn't even ask for it.
Awesome. That's great, Cameron. Well, I'm happy. Let us know when you got the visa, okay?
Roger that. Thank you.
Hey, buddy. Congrats. All right. Yeah, Hina says that was a good email yesterday. Yeah, it was. If you're not on our email list, just send us an email to info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com and say, hey, I want to be on your email list. We send out 2 or 3 emails a week. I think 3, sort of summarizing different immigration issues. People find it helpful. I Am Woke says, Jim Hacking, you're a very patient listener. That's true, but I do want to apologize. I lost my temper on Thursday's show. We took that clip down. Somebody was asking me on the air to participate in immigration fraud and also admitted that they'd committed immigration fraud and they wanted to do some more fraud, and it made me mad, but I can't lose my temper. My kids didn't like the video. My wife didn't like the video. We took it down for lots of different reasons, but I got to be better at that, and I got to be more patient all the time. I cannot lose my temper. Speaking of losing their temper, Matthew Ellen says, yesterday an American man punched me in the line of a ride at Six Flags. That's too bad. I know tempers get hot at the old Six Flags. There's a lot of Hoosiers there. You guys probably don't know the word Hoosiers. Like in Indiana, being a Hoosier is a compliment, but in St. Louis, being a Hoosier is like a trashy person. He got arrested right on the spot. Good, I'm glad. Any man who hits someone should get, especially in the ride at Six Flags, should get arrested. Job switch. Hello.
Hey, Jim, can I go off camera?
Done.
So, Jim, thank you so much for everything that you're doing here. So I have a quick question. I'm adjusting my status from H-1B to marriage-based green card, and we had an interview a couple weeks back in the local field office. And so right now, I spoke with you earlier, like a month ago, about my job switch. I'm currently on my H-1B, and my current company doesn't have a lot of work for me. So it's not about uh, it's a market situation, and I'm actually planning to switch my job, and like it's which my job will be like 2 hours away from home. So I'm just worried about like what can we do here to make sure that I'm doing the right thing.
So you have your EAD?
Yeah, I have a EAD, but like currently I'm on H-1B, so I'm not interested to use my EAD.
So you're talking about a flat out H-1B transfer while you're this close to being a green card holder?
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct, Jim. Yep.
So how did the interview go?
It went all right. I mean, like the local field office were doing Stokes for everybody on that day, so it was Stokes, and we did it right, and everything went all right. But officer said that I'm going to receive a mail in like 2 or 3 weeks, but I haven't received anything.
Just because everybody there that day had a Stokes interview doesn't mean that the office does Stokes interviews for everybody. They probably just scheduled all of them on the same day. How long did it go? And when you compared your questions to your spouse, how did that go?
So the total duration of the interview was like about like closer to 2 hours.
Whoa.
And yeah, closer to 2 hours. And they initially interviewed us together, and then they separated me, and then they called me back in, and it was like
Why
about
do
2 hours.
you understand that most people don't get interviews these days, and you understand that even less people get Stokes interviews. So why do you think your case had a Stokes interview?
So like doing my research, I heard that like my field office, they're interviewing all the cases that they're getting, and
Which field
also
office? Which field office?
Hartford, Connecticut. So
Okay.
like all the cases, every case which was submitted is they're scheduling an interview, and also most of the cases are they're scheduling a Stokes interview. is what I heard from
That
Hartford.
sounds like BS to me.
Yeah.
They just don't have the bandwidth for that. And so you were each in the room with the officer for an hour.
Yeah, close to that.
Have you ever been out of status?
No.
And so you're asking me, Jim, while I have this pending green card case and it seems like I'm pretty close to getting an approval, can I change jobs on an H-1B? Is that the question?
That is correct, Jim. And also to maintain my H-1B status, I have to get another job because,
Sure.
and also I don't want to go out of status, and also I'm not willing to go with EAD route because that's like losing my H-1B visa too. So
Yeah.
and also this job, since I'm in Connecticut, this job is going to be in upstate New York, which is like 2 hours.
So
Away from.
logistically, how would that work? You'd go live in New York for 5 days and come home on the weekends, or how's it going to work
It's
logistically?
it's hybrid, and it's like not for all 5 days. It's going to be like maybe 1 or 2 days, or maybe 3 days.
Like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday?
Yeah, it depends. Like I'm not sure, but it's a hybrid role, and I have to go there, be present for a couple days, or maybe 3 or 4 days, and then come back. So it's going to be like that kind of a setup.
And what is the job itself? Like, what's the occupation?
It's going to be engineering, project engineering, into construction field.
Okay. So you have to be on site. They need you there physically.
Yeah, it's in engineering, and we're working on a reservoir project. It's a new project, new job, so
Okay.
there's no way around for me. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I thought you were going to ask me for permission to bounce off your H-1B. You're asking me for permission to maintain your H-1B. That's the safest thing of all.
Yeah.
So as far as you having, I mean, what I always say with people who have job situations where they have to go live somewhere else, I mean, number one, how long have you and your spouse lived together already?
So it's been almost close to 1 year.
Yeah, so we've lived together for a year. I got this new opportunity. I wanted to maintain my status. I went up there 3 days a week, and here's the proof that I came back every weekend, that we always spend time together when we can. So it's always, what's the short-term plan and how often do we see each other, and then what's the long-term plan. So if you get your green card, then you're a free agent.
Got you. Okay. So how do we document this information, Jim?
I mean, if the way I would do it is, if I'm driving to upstate New York from Connecticut, I would take pictures where I go. I would make sure to keep all my gas receipts. I would keep a log of my miles up and down. I would keep dates. I would do all that stuff. You can do it all in your. I mean, if all you had was a log that said, I was like, let's say your job starts on September 1st.
Mhm.
So I would just keep a log. September 1 through 4, I'm in Hartford. 4 through 9 or 4 through 7, I'm in upstate New York, and then just keep track like that, keep receipts. So if anybody pushes you on it, but they would take your word for it just as long as you know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I got it. And also, since it's going to be a hybrid, like if it's alternative day, then it's okay. I can travel. But if it's like a consecutive Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, if it's like
Yeah.
if that kind of a setup, maybe I have to find like a temporary few days accommodation there.
Yeah.
And like since we already have like our house and everything here in Connecticut, I'm hesitant in taking an option of like having an accommodation there too. So
Yeah. But I would just take the position that's just in support of the job. That's not you moving there, or you don't have to change your address or anything. I wouldn't worry about that too much. Plus, your spouse is a U.S. citizen, right?
That is correct. Yep.
Hopefully, this is all going to be over pretty soon, and you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, that's what I thought, and even I was waiting for the green card, but it's been like almost 3 weeks. Even the employer is ready to do the H-1B transfer, which initially I said I'm gonna join on a EAD or a green card, but they're okay to take up those extra expenses of me transferring my H-1B to their company. So
All right, but we'll keep us posted. Good luck.
yeah, definitely, Jim. And also, yeah, so definitely I'm gonna so should I, like, if I'm like getting another accommodation there near to my new job, so should I update that on USCIS that my new address is here, or is it not necessary?
If you're there 3 days a week, I would leave it alone. Your home address is Hartford, Connecticut.
Oh, okay, I got you. Awesome.
See you, man.
Thank you.
Take care. Yep.
Jim.
Later. All right. Nathy Ellen's here. Hello, Nathy Ellen. Sorry about your eye.
Yeah, I know. So I guess my question is, so yes, everything happened yesterday. It was a Six Flags. This man, well, a bunch of men was trying to cut the line with a woman. I said something and I said, "Hey, you guys are not going to be cutting the line in front of me." The woman pushed me, and my boyfriend tried to protect me when the other one came and swinged at me. So the Six Flags got camera and video surveillance on them. The man got arrested right on point, and they got the woman a little bit after trying to leave the park.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be suing them for criminal charges, but I was also looking for the so some of my friends. I'm Brazilian, by the way. I'm a student athlete here in St. Louis.
Oh, what kind of sports?
Volleyball. I'm a volleyball player.
Good for you.
Yeah. So I'm looking to see if I can do a victim of a crime green card. I've been in the States for 8 years now, and I'm not sure. I have a friend, what not a friend, but someone that I know that got beat up by an American, and she did got the green card. So I was just looking at my chances besides the criminal.
This was in Eureka.
That was in Eureka. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Email me. We can talk about it. You should also think about suing them. Like you could sue this. You could sue Six Flags.
Yeah, yeah, that's the thing. So I'm trying to see all of my options because I'm not really that never had happened to me, and I never had to be in the court or anything. I've been living in the United States for 8 years, and I never seen something like that.
Right.
So and besides that, like all of my left body, it's full of scratches,
Take
bruises.
pictures. Take
I
pictures.
yeah, I got thrown. Yeah, so the police took pictures of everything, all of the injured. I'm going
Which,
to the doctor again because I got a concussion on my left side, which is gonna make me not play volleyball for a while. So all of that happened.
which ride was so important that they had to butt the line and hit somebody over?
Yeah, it was Mr. Freeze, and it was like so many people, and against like literally just me, and I'm like 5'3", very tiny, and they were like all 6'6". Even the police was just like, how can they even do that? Like a man against a woman, and like he was huge, and I'm just like 5'3". So I'm looking at all of my options, trying to see what I can do.
Yeah, yeah. That's a good idea. Yeah, I didn't even think of it. I should have thought of that. But yeah, send me an email and then I can help you try to find a lawyer and I can tell you how you can track the criminal case and I can tell you if we think there's a viable U visa.
Okay.
All right.
Awesome. Awesome.
Thanks, Tatiana. Okay. See you.
Thank
We'll
you so
talk
much.
soon.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Yep. Bye. Yeah, Yassine's asking how did Amani react to the not so funny video? Yeah, she got really mad at me. It was all about me. She didn't see. I mean, she was mad at the guy and she thought he was a dope, but she thought Yassine that I lost my temper, which was true. I can't lose my temper. All right, Islam is here. Hello, Islam.
Hey Jim, how are you?
Great, buddy. How you doing?
Hey, good. Thank you so much. I don't know if you know that, but I am your client.
Okay, great. Well,
Yep.
then, if we're your attorney, number one, you can always talk to me. You don't have to talk to me on camera. And number two, if you're talking about general stuff, that's cool. But don't talk about
Yeah.
anything about our case. Okay, cool. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah, I'm really excited. It's not gonna be like detailed, it's just a quick question.
For sure.
Yeah, so Jim, I am can you please explain about 1 year rule for adjustment of status for asylum granted people? Is it can we apply like right away or do we have to wait for 1 more year?
So that's a little bit confusing right now. So the Biden team said that they were expanding when you can apply for the green card. That it could just be the time if usually in the old days everybody considered it to be 1 year after you got asylum you can apply for your green card. But then the Biden team sort of muddied it and said, well, no, you can go back and use old time that you had before you applied for asylum as long as you have 1 year of physical presence in the United States. But then all of a sudden that all sort of disappeared off the website. So I don't know the latest on that, but who's your attorney?
It's kind of like a mix. It was Amani, Christina, and Jill.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So Huli, just remind me to check in with Huli and look at Islam's papers and I'll let you know when you can apply.
Got it. Yeah, okay, Sure. Yep. And then last question: if it's, let's say, I applied earlier, and then if it gets denied, it's not gonna impact the future, right?
No, you just apply again. They would just
Got
say
it.
you applied too early.
Got it. Thank you so much, Jim.
Bye, buddy.
Go with hawking immigration, guys.
Thanks, man. See you, buddy.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Okay, bye. Islam in the house. All right, all right. Oh, we got requests for evidence. Hello. Hello, you're on mute. Request for evidence. I see Dr. King, but I can't hear him or you.
Hey, Jim.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
I have a question for you.
Go for it.
The USCIS, they sent me a request for evidence.
Can you put your mic up by your mouth? It's really
That pro-
big.
Can you hear me now?
A little bit better. There's a weird like wind, but I can hear you. Go ahead. So you got a request for evidence. What did it say?
So USCIS sent me a request for evidence, and what I was expecting, that's not what they sent to me. They said after I submit my application that I requested again, that I told them that my wife is dead, and they sent me, they asked me for a death certificate, and I didn't call them. I didn't tell them anything. I think they gave me another person application.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Okay. So first of all, I'm sorry. You said your wife died, right?
My wife didn't die. My wife is alive.
Oh, well, we're glad to hear that. Okay,
My wife is alive. We were together, and she was so mad that how can they say she's dead?
So let's
was
back,
so mad yesterday.
Let's back up. When did you come to the United States?
That was in 2015.
What kind of a visa did you have?
B1, B2.
And then you overstayed your visa?
Yeah.
And then you married a U.S. citizen?
Yeah.
When did you file for adjustment of status?
That was 2020. I guess 2019 stroke. I think 2020. I got this one, and the request for evidence is for I-751.
For this. Okay, so you got your 2-year green card.
Yeah.
How long has the 751 been on file?
It's been on file for like 26 months or 27, 26 and some days month.
Wow. Okay. That's a long time. Did you have a Stokes interview on your first green card case?
Yes.
You did. Okay. Okay. And what field office did your Stokes interview?
That was Alabama. That was Montgomery.
Okay. And so when did you receive the request for evidence asking for evidence about your wife's death?
That was on Saturday.
And so what did they ask for?
They said, what he said in that, they just asked for the death certificate.
So
This is not funny at all.
I know, I shouldn't laugh. So just to be clear, you and your wife are hanging out, you come back home, you look in the mailbox on Saturday.
Yeah.
And you open up the envelope and it says, hey, this is a request for evidence on your 751.
No, Jim, you get it wrong. When I opened it, I didn't even know how to tell her. I was like, oh shit, how am I gonna tell her? I don't know what she's gonna do. I don't know where she's gonna go crazy. And I was like, I was mad. She was like, what happened to me? I said, I'm okay. I was just walking around the house. She said, are you okay? I said, I'm okay. He said, tell me. And I later opened up. I said, this is what happened. And I gave her the letter. She said, what is inside it? She said, they said you're dead. And she was like, what? I said, yes.
Oh my gosh. Oh, the one thing I wanted to ask you, you don't have to tell me your name, but do you have a common name or a rare name?
I don't have a rare name. My name is Ali.
But I mean, you don't just say your whole name, but is it like John Smith or Ali Muhammad or something like that? You know what I mean? Or is it something that's sort of obscure, like Noor Hacking, my daughter? You know what I mean?
Yeah, my name is it's not like that. My name is just a regular name.
Okay.
It's not that common though.
Yeah. Okay. What I would do if I were you is, and I hate to say this, I would on Sunday, I'd go down and I'd buy the Sunday newspaper.
Mhm.
And then I would put my arm around my wife and have someone take a picture of us with her holding the newspaper.
Okay.
And I would send them a letter. And I mean, I'd send them a letter and it probably wouldn't be too nice.
Okay.
And it would say, we were shocked to receive the attached request for evidence. In that request, you asked for my wife's death certificate. I'm happy to report to you that my wife is alive and kicking and that she's in fact not dead. So therefore, we won't be able to reply to your request for evidence. Here's and I'd be willing to help you write the letter if you want, just for.
Oh my God, I'm ready. I'm seriously.
Okay.
I was like, man, I want you to do it for me.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah. Send me. I won't even charge you for this one. So send me. But what we're going to do is we're going to tell them, look, this thing's been pending 26 months.
Yes.
So you guys clearly don't know what you're doing. If you don't decide this case within 30 days, then I'm going to hire Jim to sue you. And
That's correct.
Yeah. Okay,
I'm
cool.
down for that, Jim.
Okay. I can't believe
Thank
it.
you very much. Thank you very much.
Just for the record, you gave me a new thing to make on TikTok. You won't believe what happened this time.
I will scan it to you. I will scan both everything to you. I will send it to you. I'm so mad.
All right, I'm ready.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thanks, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, dear Lord. Yeah, Robert, that's a good question. Maybe we should just go ahead and apply for citizenship. Maybe he did. He might have. Given the fact that that thing has been pending so long. That's all right. We just assume for both. All right. Raj has been waiting patiently. Hello, Raj.
Hi, Jim. How are you?
I'm great, buddy. How you doing?
Good. Thank you. Jim, I was trying to get in touch with you for a long time now.
Here I am.
For having me on the show.
Sure.
Yeah. Jim, my petitioner, he filed an I-29, which was received by UCI's Service Center on 30th of July.
For an H-1B?
No, for O-1B.
O-1B, okay.
Yeah. But my current status, I'm here on B1, B2.
Okay.
And my B2 expired yesterday.
Okay. So you're riding the O-1B. That's all you got?
Yes.
Okay.
So we have not received any confirmation on the credit card charge for G4150.
And no receipt?
No receipt.
And you said end of July, so like 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago, right.
Okay.
So I wanted to know, if next week, if they send my application back saying for any error, like credit card payment didn't go through or any, insufficient documents or any such thing.
When does the B1, B2 expire?
Expired on yesterday, 11th.
Okay.
So I want to understand, because I've been here, 5-6 times, and I have never been overstaying or not been, never had an unlawful stay. So that's my concern. What is your?
Why did you or your employer? Why did you wait so long to file so close to the deadline on your B1?
Unfortunately, Jim, we hired a lawyer, and it really wasted our time for like 1 month. He never really helped us in filing the form properly. And then at the end, we took the matters in our hand, and we
did it yourself. Pretty much.
Yes, yeah.
Well, I mean, if they reject the case and they say you included the wrong payment amount or you forgot to sign the I-129 or whatever, I mean, you have a grace period, but no, you never want to rely just on that. But I think that's all you got. I don't know what else. I mean, I think now if you filed for an extension of the B1, B2, that would be confusing. Go ahead.
No, I thought of filing I-539, but that's kind of conflicting, to sign.
I probably would have done that first. If I were you and I was starting to realize, oh shit, we're getting pretty close to my deadline and my O1B isn't on file yet, I might have just filed the 539 and then a couple weeks later filed the I-129. But what do you do? I think you're just sitting and waiting to see what happens.
Okay. Then we'll wait. Is it normal that they don't charge the credit card for like 2 weeks, or it takes time?
If you watch this show, people are complaining 2 months.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We don't really like that credit. We don't use the credit card form here unless we absolutely have to.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Raj. Good luck, buddy.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you.
Yeah, yep, for sure. Joy. Hello, Joy.
Hi,
Yeah.
Jane. Please, can I get off the camera?
Sure. You're off camera.
All right, thank you. So, I do have a question. I came here with the B1, B2 visa,
Okay.
and later on, I got married and I got my green card.
Great.
So, my question, because when I came here on a B1, B2 visa, I did file for asylum,
Uh-huh.
but the asylum was canceled. I went to the court. The immigration judge dismissed the case. And for my green card, I got interviewed. Sorry about that.
That's totally fine. I had 4 kids. It's all good.
So my spouse and I, we went for interview, and they asked me questions about the asylum. Long story short, I got a green card. So my question is, my mother-in-law wanted us to travel back to my home country. So I'm not sure if I can travel back.
So this is a question that people ask me probably 4 or 5 times a year. So here's what you need to understand. You swore under oath that if you went back to your home country, you were going to be persecuted.
Exactly.
You signed a form that said that, right?
Yeah.
So because you signed a form that said that, to me, if you go back to your home country and things haven't really changed much, you could have a problem when you apply for citizenship. That's one question they're going to dig into big time, and I think it slows down your naturalization case at the very least.
Okay.
So I vote for any country other than your home country if you can make that work.
Okay. No worries. Thank you.
Hi, Joy. See ya. All right. 2-year home requirement for a friend. Hello.
Hey, Jane. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm pretty good, thank you. So I do have a question for a friend. So he some years back came on exchange program and finished with that degree. Went back home, finished with that degree. No, let me take that back. So he came on exchange program,
Yeah.
finished with that degree, and then got F1 visa. And so came back to the US to do to do PhD straight. So that would be 5 years, right?
Without
Now
the 2-year home in between.
Correct. Without a 2-year home in between during the undergrad level. But when he started the PhD, then he started going back bit by bit every summer. So that obviously didn't cover the 2-year requirement. So now he's done with a PhD, and it's on F1, but still has that to fulfill. And because of that, he can't do OPT, he can't do any H1B, like nothing like that.
He can do he can do OPT.
Oh, he can do OPT even without a 2-year thing?
Yeah, because he's not going to leave the United States.
Oh, hold on. Okay. So the other because he said he thought he cannot do OPT, and so like he's ready to go back home on Wednesday. Yeah, the thing is, and I'm glad he's not gone, and I'm hearing this. So the other thing is, he's married to a U.S. citizen. They have a home together. They have a baby. Where I think the baby is due in January. So he has all of these, and is thinking to go back home, and rather come back on visitor's visa. Every now and then. So I just wanted to find out what are his options here. Should he go back?
Here's what I'll say. Number one, he should be calling a lawyer, not having his friend call a YouTube show. Number two, he shouldn't have waited until 2 days before he's supposed to go to figure it out. Number three, I believe that he can get an OPT extension or an OPT off the PhD, right? And so that might give him the time that he needs in order to get the waiver for the 2-year home residency requirement, right?
Right.
So I would not go home lickety split. I would explore all my options and say, well, if I can buy a year on OPT or 3 years if it's a STEM field, but if I can get OPT and get now, did some foreign government or the United States government pay for his studies here?
It was his home country, and by the way, he's from Nigeria, so it was his home country government that paid for it.
So he needs to do some research. I just don't know the answer as to whether or not how willing Nigeria is to issue a no waiver letter. I don't know. People
I think I do have an answer to that. I asked him all of those questions of from listening to your show, and he said when he contacted the embassy in Washington, what they told him was during the application back then, he signed that okay, he will come back home, and so by hook or crook, he has to come back home, and so they were not willing to issue him that.
Yeah, but they probably tell everybody that. I mean, like if you apply for Social Security disability in the United States, they always deny you the first time. I mean, the government of Nigeria would have paid X amount of dollars for his studies, right? So sometimes there's haggling that can be done. You guys paid 80,000. If I pay you 40, will you let me out? I know that sounds crazy, but I'm not saying that's going to work. The other thing is, is his wife natively Nigerian?
No, his wife is American born.
So has she ever been to Nigeria?
Yes, she has multiple times, like twice or so.
But could she live there?
Well, she works here, so I don't know how. And the work is not
remote. The answer is no way in hell could she live in Nigeria, Jim. It'd be way too hard for her. I'm trying to set up. I'm trying to set up the waiver. You understand?
Right.
So this brother and his wife need to talk to an immigration lawyer and think about hiring an immigration lawyer to see what all their options are. But there's a lot of work to be done, and he's sort of waiting until the last minute. Maybe he wants to go back to Nigeria for a while. That could be possible too.
Okay.
All right.
Well, he actually doesn't want to go.
Well, then what's he waiting for? What's he waiting for? Chop chop.
Right. Okay. Well, I will let him know that he just waited too long, and it looks like
he's waiting too long. I wouldn't say the door's closed yet, but it's closing.
It's closing. Okay, in just about 48 hours. All right.
Thanks, man.
All right. Thank you.
Later. All right. This is the Immigration Answer Show. We've had some interesting things today. Number one, we had someone whose wife is not dead receive a request for a death certificate from USCIS. Number two, when that fellow called, he had Dr. Martin Luther King and the March on Washington in the background. And I always love seeing that picture. And I also thought it was interesting. I'm not sure what's going on with Donald Trump, but I think he's literally losing his mind. If you look at his press conference last Thursday and his tweets on Truth Social, he's obsessed with crowd size. He had the nerve to say that on the day that he gave that horrible speech inciting January 6th, on January 6th, he said that his crowd was bigger than the March on Washington in 1968. I don't know if it was 68 because Martin Luther King died on April 4th. I don't know if that was in 68. I think it was earlier. 65, I think it was. I don't think there's ever been as many people on the Capitol Mall as much as there was that day. There's never been that many. And while there were lots of traitors and criminals and Proud Boys cheering on old Donald on January 6th before he sent them in to kill Mike Pence, his vice president, and to kill Nancy Pelosi, he has the nerve to say that he had more people in attendance on that day of treason, that day that will live in infamy. I mean, first of all, if you're a presidential candidate, why are you reminding people of what you did on January 6th? Why are you reminding people that you were out there instigating and sending people like the Wicked Witch of the West, sending the evil monkeys into the Capitol? Why would you do that? And he's obsessed with crowd size. Like he can't even talk about issues because he's so focused on this. And it happened again yesterday on Truth Social. He sent out a tweet where he said that huge crowd that Kamala had, I think it was in Michigan or maybe California or somewhere, where there were 15,000 people waiting for her and Tim Walz at the airport. And he sends out this crazy tweet, even though there's tons of people who had done individual photos from that event and said that it was AI generated. He's getting it from that idiot Dinesh D'Souza, who's a criminal, a felon. And Donald Trump is obsessing about this. Is all he's talking about. He didn't do a campaign rally all last week. Do you know why? Because his crowds are going to be too small. And he's too embarrassed by that. He's upset. Remember when, you guys might remember when he got inaugurated, there weren't a lot of people there. Not nearly as many as the March on Washington, and not nearly as many as President Obama's inauguration. And he went to the Department of the Interior, which controls the national parks, and said that they needed to recalibrate their numbers. The guy's nuts. He's nuts. And you want to give him the nuclear codes? He's sitting up at night on the toilet, mad tweeting on Truth Social about whose crowd sizes are bigger. Are you kidding? Keep talking, Donald. You're the old man now. You're the one not making sense. Crowd is small like his hands and other things. That's right. That's right. Conditional green card. Hello.
Hi.
How you doing? You want to be off camera?
It's fine.
Okay.
So I recently received my conditional green card, less than a month ago. But sadly, my spouse, she's been abusive for the best part of our relationship. And I'm thinking a solo I-751, that would be my best option at this time. It's been almost a week since I've been kicked out of the house. My question is, should I do a no-fault divorce, or do I necessarily need to do a fault divorce under abuse, extreme cruelty? She just threatened me today with withdrawing her I-130 if I don't show any interest, according to her.
She's too late for that because you already got your green card, right?
Yes.
So she can buzz off on that. Now, number one, are you safe? You feel safe right now?
Yeah, I'm not in the house.
Okay, but I mean, just generally these days, you feel safe, okay?
Mostly sad, because it didn't work out.
Base, yeah.
And then I have to, luckily I have a job, but I have to look for a place, and I need an additional income to that. So, I'm juggling all that stuff right now.
And you have the physical green card, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Would it be faster for you to get a no-fault divorce than one where abuse is alleged? I don't know because I'm not a divorce attorney.
Well, I think a no-fault would be the easiest, the fastest.
Yep. So I would say that if you feel like we can make an argument that it was just safer for you to get divorced as fast as possible, then the fact that you didn't allege abuse in the divorce decree wouldn't be fatal. I think overall it would be better. And you just got your 2-year green card, so you don't have to file a 751 for a year and 10 months, right? So I don't know that you even need to be worrying about that. I don't know that you even need to be worrying about that part of it. Like, to me, you're just focused on being happy and healthy and away from her, right? Now, I will say that USCIS does get a little suspicious about people whose wives suddenly get abusive, or they first start hearing about abuse after the green card happens or comes, right? So the fact that it's just a month after, did you guys have an interview on your green card, or did you get it without an interview?
No interview.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, if you can put up with it for a little bit, that's going to make the 751 easier, even if it's a solo. But that's very, very small concern. If you can prove up the abuse, if you can prove up the mental abuse, if you've got text or whatever, or things where you can show what she did, then it's going to be, yeah.
I have, and I'm drafting my my declaration.
But are you gathering evidence? Like, are you gathering, it's good to have regular evidence too, like that you were living together still, that, up until the time that you moved out or whatever, that you guys were sharing a shared life up until things got bad. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I do have evidence of that, and I have pictures and I have text messages from her.
Okay, good. So keep all that stuff. But I'm also talking about the electric bill and all that stuff. You want to keep gathering all that stuff too.
She doesn't have me as a um, in the name in there. I'm not showing in those bills.
What evidence did you submit in support of the mayor of the I-130?
Uh, I submitted mortgage papers. I submitted joint bank account, a
Mhm.
single bank account.
Is it an account? Is it an account that you guys used actively?
Yes,
Okay. So is that account still going? Are you still doing that process? Is that still how you're paying bills?
correct. Like that's what she uses.
Yeah,
And
so I'm saying, so keep getting those statements is what I'm saying. Keep
okay,
gathering that stuff. So it's good that you're working and thinking about your statement, but you also have to get objective, just regular marital evidence too, that it didn't just stop the day you got your green card.
okay, I see what you're saying. Then I guess my next question is when would be the best time to do that, because I am thinking of taking advantage of those 2 years that I get on a conditional green card.
Mm-hmm. What you're asking me, like when you should go, like when you should separate?
Know when I should apply.
Well, generally you can't apply until the 1 year and 9 months. Once your divorce is final, you could apply early at that point, but you can't file until the divorce is final. Otherwise, they'll reject it.
Okay,
All right.
all right,
Thanks, man. Hang in there.
okay.
See ya. That sucked. He looked sad. I could tell that he's sad. I'm sorry. Hamza, hello. We can't hear you, Hamza. Can't hear you, bro. I think it's those headsets. Mm-mm. We'll come back, Hamza. Sorry about that. All right. JC, hello.
Hi, Jing.
Hello.
Can you please put me off the camera?
JC, you are off the camera.
So, back in February 2023, I filed for adjustment of status from a B1, B2 after marrying a U.S. citizen.
Okay.
So, after 17 months, I got the appointment for the interview. I went to the interview with my wife.
Yeah.
And they approved the I-130 on the spot. They said that everything looks good. But on the I-485, apparently my lawyer, he made a mistake and he checked the tab of the denied of entries. And then the officer asked me during the interview, and he told me that he fixed it there during the interview. So after the interview, my I-130 got approved, but my I-485 still pending. So what should I do now?
So tell me about the visa, the refusal that the lawyer made the mistake on.
He made a mistake on the denial entries. He checked the tab.
Did he say yes when he should have said no, or did he say no when he should have said yes?
He said yes when he should have said no.
So you've never been denied an entry before?
That's correct.
Okay. So you don't know that that's a problem. I mean, the officer fixed it, right?
Yeah, and he put me to sign on the computer there. And he said that he was going to approve that for a conditional green card, that everything looks good. So
said
I don't know what should I do now besides waiting.
your spouse is a U.S. citizen?
That's correct.
And you said you came on a visit visa, right?
Yeah, and I didn't overstay.
Had you ever had any other visa to the United States?
No.
So this is the first time you ever applied for a visa, and the first time you ever entered the United States was this trip that you're on right now?
No. I first applied for a visitor visa like 5 years ago, and it was denied. And then like 4 years ago, I came to the United States on a visitor visa, and I visited the country like 3 times. and I didn't overstay or anything like that.
Why was your visit visa denied 5 years ago?
I was a student, and I'm from a third world country, so I guess in that I didn't have strong links to my country at that time.
Okay. And so was that for a student visa or a visit visa?
Visitor visa.
The one that got denied?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it was approved like 3 years later after that.
Okay. And so there was a time where you applied for a visa to the United States and it got denied
That's correct.
5 years ago.
It was like 8 or 9 years ago.
Okay, that's fine. And so what's the exact question on the 45 that you think, or that came up at the interview?
The denial entry at the port.
Okay. Here's a good question. Are you ready?
Yes.
When you applied for the B1, B2 visa that you came to the United States on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did they ask you whether you had ever been denied a visa in the past?
Yes.
And what did you say? You said yes?
Yes.
What field office had your interview?
Tampa.
I mean, you're probably just waiting. They're probably just confused because the lawyer marked yes when he might have answered no. So
Yeah.
I think hopefully it won't be a big issue. I'm not worried about anything that you're saying so much.
Because I checked the processing times and it's at 17 months at my local office, and then my case.
But you had your interview. Once that happens, then I don't really worry about processing time. Once you've had your interview, you're sort of on your own.
Yeah, and the officer, is that the only reason why you're here is because of that, because I want to make sure that there was an error on the file.
Yeah, I just wait. I think you're okay.
Okay.
Thanks, JC.
Thank you, Gene.
See you, buddy. Nurse Laura and Robert are talking about which Star Wars poster is the best. Robert has a lot of posters from A New Hope. Laura had one from Empire Strikes Back. Did you guys know when I was a kid, I had Star Wars bed sheets and curtains? I wish I still had them. They weren't very comfortable at all. They were real starchy, but man, were they cool. And I've been really trying to get Mark Hamill to like one of my tweets. So we'll see. We'll see if we can connect with old Mark Hamill. That would be fun. Michael, hello.
Hey, how's it going, Jim?
Great, buddy.
So I have the J1 2-year requirement for my visa. So I came to the country 2016 on a J1 visa. I had the 2-year requirement. I didn't know about it at the time. And I came back 2 years later.
Were you working travel or were you like at a university?
University, just exchange program. I was in school in Europe. So the school brought us here through J1. And so I went back to finish my studies, and I came back 2 years later to do my PhD. So I didn't do my 2-year requirement in Ethiopia. I was born and raised in Ethiopia. So now I have a H1 visa, but I'm doing my green card application through the national interest waiver. And I have my I-140 approved, but I'm starting my I-485. But my lawyer told me I need to have the waiver, basically. So I explored different options to get my waiver. I tried the no objection letter option. The embassy is not really cooperative, so it's kind of hard to do that. And I tried the second option too.
Hold on. Not cooperative in that they won't reply, or not cooperative where they said no?
They don't pick up the phone. They don't respond to emails. So I have to hire an independent consultant, basically, to contact the embassy for me.
Do it.
And I'm in the process of doing that, but I need a lot of paperwork for that. So
yeah,
like that's kind of
on
hold.
But Michael, that shouldn't be on hold. That should be your entire focus. You should do nothing else until that's your easiest way to get the waiver.
Yeah.
Even though it's hard, even though it takes a lot of work, that's your best bet.
Yeah, so I need a clearance from my home country. So I used to work in a company. They need that according to the consultant. So I'm waiting on that paperwork. But in the meantime, I'm trying my interested government agency, the second option.
Okay.
That's not too promising. Most of the agencies they're like declining that when I asked them. But one of them wanted to help me out, so I'm waiting on that as well. But my question is, um, some folks that I talk to who are in the same situation, they tell me, I don't think USCIS takes that seriously. You can just go ahead and apply, submit your I-485 and do it. And yeah, my lawyer told me, I don't think that's a great idea because if you do it and they ask for further information, you have like 60 to 90 days to respond. And if you don't, then you will have to go back or something like that. So I didn't want to risk that. I just wanted your opinion on this.
So let me tell you a story about a young immigration attorney. This was a friend of mine. His name was Him Jacking. And old Him filed a green card application where someone was subject to Rule 212E, and he missed it. And so when they got to they realized it before the interview, but after the 45 was filed, and when they got it all squared away before the interview. But when the officer saw that Him Jacking had filed the 485 without filing and having the waiver in hand, the immigration officer told Him Jacking that he's crazy and he never should have done that. So ever since then, Him Jacking has always been very careful to make sure that he always gets that done ahead of time. So I think that you don't have to wait to actually have it in hand, but if you don't get it, you're sort of out of luck, and you would lose the filing fee, and you'd have a denial on your record.
Yeah, so I explored the federal agency option like multiple times. So it's kind of pending right now on the portal. It shows pending because they're still waiting on official federal agency support later. So can I say like when I submit my I-485, can I say it's pending? So I'm waiting on that. And
well, what happens if they schedule you for a green card interview in 3 months?
Yeah, so I don't have it, then they will decline that.
Yeah.
Basically. Okay. So I guess I need to wait either for the no objection letter or the interested government agency support letter, either one, and get the waiver before I apply for.
Yep.
Okay. Another thing in line with that, so the lawyer that applied for my H-1B, I guess they didn't know that I needed a 2-year waiver. So when I changed from F1 to H1, they didn't ask me for any waiver documents or anything like that. But as I understand it, H1 requires waiver documents, right?
I believe
you need
so.
to have that.
I've never done an H-1B for someone on a J-1, but I know that at least from overseas, you have to have gotten that waived before they'll give you the visa. I would assume on the change of status on the H-1B, well, there wouldn't be. There wouldn't be a question about whether you were subject to the 212E on the H-1B application. So you're saying they went ahead and gave you the H-1B without realizing that you hadn't satisfied 212E?
Yeah, the lawyer didn't ask me about my J1 status at the time. I submitted my Ds 2019, but neither USCIS nor the lawyer cared about my waiver requirements at the time. But I'm pretty sure I saw somewhere that H-1B, like changing the status from J1 to H1 requires that waiver. So my concern is like if USCIS finds out that I got my H-1B without the waiver, are they gonna?
They're gonna think you tricked.
Yeah, so that's my concern. I asked the lawyer. He said, I don't think that's going to be a problem, but I'm getting different opinions. So
I think it could be a problem, but the mental gymnastics I was doing while you were talking is that, the H-1B application, it's 90% about the employer and the job, and it's 10% about the employee. So I know for a fact, at least the last time I did an H-1B, there's no question on there, was this beneficiary subject to Rule 212E? and did they satisfy their 2-year requirement in order to change to an H-1B? Like, because they just don't ask that much. They just ask, what's the dude's identifying information, what's his occupation, what's his resume, and does it fit the job? Really, that's it. So I think that should be okay, but obviously you got to be ready to talk about it.
Yeah, and your experience, which one is more like a plausible option, like no objection or a federal agency?
I would say no objection is 100 times better and more likely than that government agency.
Okay. That's good to know.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Bye, Michael. Yep, good call. All right, everybody, that'll do it for today's show. We've hit the 1 hour mark. I'll be back mañana at 3 p.m. Central. Tomorrow's show, 3 p.m. Central. Is that right? I guess that's right. 3 p.m. Central. We'll be back with lots more to talk about. Yep, 3 o'clock tomorrow. I'll be here. Be here or be square. Have a great night, everybody. Have a good start to your week, and we'll see you soon. I'm great about that, other than trying to help people who are in a state of invasion. What's up? Hold on, let me say bye to Huli. Bye, Huli.
Hi, boss. Bye.
See you later.
See ya.
What's up?
I need to sell your car.